Hello everyone, my name is Caden, and welcome back to more The 100-Line Last Defense Academy. Last time, well, we've got quite the interesting route on our hands because I guess we're trying to figure out who's a murderer in our group, because if we look at the deaths right now, both Kako and Gaku are dead, and Shoma got attacked. So, yeah. We gotta figure out who's a psychopath or killer right now. Also, we have a fainting disease, which is gonna be interesting to deal with, but whatever. Anyways, let's talk to these people.
Huh?
Oh, you're still in the cafeteria?
Don't talk to us now.
We're in the midst of a very serious discussion.
Nozomi just refuses to listen to reason.
What's the discussion about?
I still don't believe the culprit is one of us. I'm trying to tell everyone to stop being so suspicious of each other. You saw the device toll for the number of life forms in the school. Yes, but that doesn't prove the crimes were inside jobs. The culprit must have fled outside the wall of fire after stabbing Shoma.
I will try to tell you that's not possible.
Yeah, this does seem like a killer who'd stop at one or two victims. He clearly said they wanted to kill everyone, both in the tape recording and that first message. But I just can't... Talk to me, say something.
Huh? Well, I stammered hard because I was more in line with Karawa's way of thinking than Nozomi's. I did feel bad for Nozomi, so I decided to simply avoid committing for now. Sorry, I just remembered I have something I need to do. Gotta go, bye.
Wait, talk to me! Hey, come back here, please!
I'm out of here. Well, that ended terribly. Technically speaking, there is theoretically one person who could... There is one scenario in which it could be an outsider who could get into the school without triggering the alarm and do all the killing. There is technically one person, and that's Dalsha, because Dalsha has proven before that he can enter the school, he can walk through the wall of flames without being damaged. That's his special ability. Like, he's basically immune, like, he's got ultimate defense. But that doesn't fit Dalsha. That's not his MO. That Dalsha always is like a fair fighter. He doesn't try and do like tricky stuff. So it wouldn't make sense for Dalsha. Again, I'm just saying that technically speaking, it is possible, but the odds of it are so low that like I'm almost guaranteed positive it's not him. Just saying though. You know what, I'll hold off on you for now. I actually want to talk to others first. It just now occurs to me that I so rarely actually get to see the morgue icon on the map here. Anyways, what do you got? Yuko, you were here the other day too. What's so interesting about this place?
Oh.
I want to investigate Kako's body again. What about you? I'm here to investigate the case as well.
Oh.
As if your clumsy brain could ever bring us closer to the truth. Oh, be quiet. Yuko decided to repeat herself in a hushed voice. As if your clumsy brain.
Hey!
You know that's not what I meant. Anyway, have you already looked at Kako's body?
Oh.
Yes, and the other two as well. Huh? Edo and Gaku. Didn't we already check Gaku's body on day 24? Yes, but something happened to make me realize I need to check it again. I discovered two surprising facts after reinvestigating Kako's body. Surprising facts. The first concerns her cryptoglobin. Her body's been almost completely drained of it. Oh. Really? Huh. That's weird. Why? It didn't seem that way before. Usually when somebody's body's been completely drained of cryptoglobin, it leaves it as like a husk. What? There's a cut on her ankle. Oh. Her body was likely moved somewhere and hung up for an extended time. It was returned here after being almost completely drained of cryptoglobin. When? I'll get to that later. Let me tell you about my other discovery first. Kyoko walked over to Kako's body and removed the sheet that was covering it. Then she flipped the body over and what I saw flabbergasted me. What the hell? What is that? Marks of a stolen heart. Oh! What? What? Somebody cut a hole in her back, smashed her ribs, and dug her heart out. What the... Oh! Well, this completely changes it then. We thought it was possible it was suicide before, but this confirms it's impossible for it to have been suicide. There's no way you can just take out your heart, put it somewhere else, and then die somewhere else. And make everything as clean as possible. So it's impossible for this to have been suicide then. Well, I guess, technically speaking, maybe not, but the odds are super low. The only way that it's not, the only way that it could still be suicide is that she committed suicide and then somebody found her corpse and then did this to her afterwards. But that doesn't make any sense, so. Why would anybody do that? Before we talk about that, check the other bodies as well. Did as I was told and flipped Edo and Gaku's bodies over, only to see the exact same marks on them. So, whoever's doing the killings is going after people's hearts. Is that what you're saying? A large empty cavity on their backs. Wait a minute, what's going on here? What indeed? Why are you so calm about this? Their hearts have been removed from their bodies. I know. That's what I've been trying to tell you. When did this happen? When we investigated Gaku's body on day 24, his back was still intact. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too. Somebody... Oh. So why the change? Sometime after Gaku died, somebody came in here and took his heart out. But why? And Eito likely is the same way. After we killed them, somebody came here and took his heart out. But what's the point? Why does somebody need hearts? It still was on day 27, too. I checked Eito and Gaku's body when we moved Kako's body here. Nobody had holes in their backs at that point in time. That means it must have happened sometime after the night of the day 27. The perpetrator likely did the deed to all three at the same time. That may have been when they extracted Kako's cryptoglobin as well. Simple logic dictates the culprit behind this series of events did it. But why? How should I know what the culprit is up to? Perhaps they are simply a lunatic who collects hearts as a hobby, or a gourmet who enjoys a spot of grilled myocardium with a lemon on top. You make it sound like you've had that before. Don't answer that question. Both examples are crazy. There's just one thing I can't seem to figure out. Why were the hearts extracted from the back? That also I also noticed that. Why take it out from the back? It seems more obvious that you would take it out from the front, right? Making an opening in the chest would make removing them so much easier. Why go about this way? Neither of us could come up with anything feasible, so we decided to investigate the bodies again. But there was not a single further clue to be found. I've got nothing on that. I need more information to figure that one out, because that's still a complete mystery to me. Why are there holes in their backs? She's right, it doesn't make sense for them to have been cut up from the back. It would have been way easier to do all this from the front, so... Is there a specific reason? Medicine, one of mankind's most eminent inventions for sustaining life. And dealing death. How can I help you today, Takumi? I want to know about poisons. I told Yugama that I was investigating the case. Does that include Kako's death, too? Yeah, the suspicious circumstance of her death bothered me as well. My main objective was to solve the attempted murder of Shoma, but that didn't mean it was my only concern. Any information that might help solve Kako's case would be more than welcome. Why also try and make it seem like it was suicide? That's what I also don't get. What's the point in trying to make it seem like a suicide? There are other cases to think about as well, like serious destruction and Gaku's murder. But I hadn't found any further clues to those cases despite my thorough investigation on day 24. So I decided to focus on Shoma's case first, while the trail was still fresh. Is there something bothering you about Kako's case? Yes, there is. Remember her cause of death? She ingested tetrodotoxin, an extremely potent poison, when we found her. She was holding a bottle labeled TTX tightly in her right hand. That bottle was originally from this biolab. So the poison was taken from here. That would appear to be the case. Whether by Kako, who then killed herself with it, or by someone else who used to kill Kako. Is this room open to everyone? Sure is. There's no lock on the door and the cabinets are unsecured too. Anyone could have taken anything at any time. Somebody also stole some gamma fuel, plus syringes and needles to administer it. Gamma fuel? The substance used to knock Ima out on day 27. The very same? Why would they need that? Why would you need gamma field for all that? Is it to make sure that the victim doesn't make sound? Huh? But if it's still here, it hasn't been stolen, right? No, most of the bottles here. Several are missing. It didn't happen recently either. I first noticed the missing bottles on day 27 When I came here to get supplies needed to help with Ima, I saw that there were already some missing. Why would the killer do that? We don't know for sure if the killer was the one who stole them. The thing is, at the proper dilution, this substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing loss of consciousness. So it's for some kind of sadistic pleasure is what you're implying, Yugamu? I was thinking that too. If it's able to cause that kind of... I was kind of thinking along that line too. It's like, what if they're trying to do it to get some sort of glee out of this? What if they like being this psychopath that enjoys watching people suffer when they can't do anything about it? Perhaps that was what the thief wanted to use it for. No denying. I really like this route so far. I don't know, but I just like solving mysteries. I like detective kind of games. If you know detective games, then please hit me up. I love detective games. I like murder solving. You know what? You want to know a series that I would love to get into, but I feel like it's so difficult to get into because of the games are, I think, like all on 3DS or something? The Professor Layton. I would love to play through those games. Because I've heard that they're really good, and they're really good, like, mystery and puzzle solving. But the problem is that they're all, like, as far as I know, I think I've heard that they're all, like, shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? They're all on, like, DS or 3DS or something like that. I think there's, like, one on computer, and I know they're making a new one. But I would love to play through the whole series. If anyone can... If you guys know of, like, an easy way to play through all the games, then please let me know. I would love to do a playthrough of that series. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about to these guys first. What are you guys doing here?
If it isn't serial killer Takumi.
You're awake. I'm not serial killer, so stop calling me that. Anyway, I'm investigating the identity of the culprit right now. Do you mind if I ask a few questions?
Oh, can you be any more shameless? The criminal's role-playing as a detective now.
I'm not talking to you. I'm asking Shoma. Oh, you want to know about the person who stabbed me? I've told the arts a bunch of times already. I didn't get a good look at them.
Hey, I thought you were sure it was Takumi did.
Yes, but it's not like I have any proof, so... Does that mean you didn't see the culprit when you were stabbed? No, I did see someone, but they were wearing a mask. How about the person's height or body structure? I can't be sure. They were dressed in a long, black poncho thing. You must have seen some identifiable features. I was attacked the moment I turned around, so I'm afraid not. I screamed immediately before I realized that I'd been shoved to the ground. And that's what we heard. I don't remember anything after that. I fainted after the first 2 or 3 stabs. Let's go over one thing real quick. We know of 4 innocent people for a fact. Takumi, Takemaru, Hiriko, and Tsubasa. Those 4 are guaranteed to be innocent because we saw them all at the... Okay, hang on. Let me actually rephrase that. We know that these 4 are guaranteed innocent in regards to Shoma's murder. I can't say the same for others at the moment. We don't know if that's separate killers or if it is all the same one, but regarding Shoma, we at least know for a fact that it can't be Takumi, Takemaru, Hiriko, or Tsubasa. The only options that leaves are Darmi, Ima, Nozomi, Kurata, Kyoshika, Yugamu, and Moko. Again, I still have an idea of what if it was maybe Ima? What if Ima thought that... What if Ima was pretending to... I don't know. My line of thinking is, what if Ima was pretending to only just notice that his sister was dead when we saw him, like, freak out? But in reality, he first saw his sister dead way earlier, thought it was Shoma, tried to kill him as a result. Because there is still the fact that Ima was strangely absent for a while when we were discovering all the bodies. When we were discovering both Shoma and Kako, Ima was suspiciously gone during that time. We couldn't find him. So I'm wondering if maybe while I don't think Ima is the main killer, I do think there's a possibility that maybe he's lying about certain things and maybe he attacked Shoma, thinking maybe it was him that killed, maybe thinking it was Shoma that killed Kako. I mean, knowing Ima, that's definitely not impossible. He would easily fly off the handle, like, in a heartbeat, just because he thinks somebody, touched his sister, basically. And, like, even if it was just, like, a... He'd probably kill somebody if it, even just a pinky landed on Kako. So I wouldn't be surprised. Darmi is also very suspicious, but at the same time, I don't feel as suspicious about her as other things. Sure, maybe it's the obvious choice, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of how I saw the real Darmi back on the Retsnam route, but I don't know. I don't feel like Darmi would be willing to go through with that. Darmi likes all the sad and gory and bad things, but when it comes to them actually playing out, the real her doesn't really actually like them that much, it seems. And there's, of course, the others. We don't have any kind of reason to believe why Nozomi, Urara, Kyoshika, Gamu, or Mocha would do it. There's no reason at the moment. And then there's, of course, what if it's something to do with the key? I don't know. It's possible, technically speaking. So you don't even know if it was a man or a woman? No. Did they say anything? Actually, I did hear something as I was being stabbed. The person kept saying, die, die. Then you should have been able to recognize the voice. The thing is, I didn't. They were probably using the voice changer. Why not? Their voice had been changed with the voice changer. Voice changer, huh? So they know about the existence of the voice changer at the very least. That much we know for certain. So many little oddities. But I can't piece them together quite yet. There's not enough to piece.
Takumi, long time no see. I heard you were out cold for a while.
I woke up all of a sudden for some reason.
I'm glad you did. Is there something I can help you with today?
There was no point asking Ava about the case, so I decided to talk about something else. Hearing that it was obviously, when they mentioned Mask, there's obviously the potential of it being Ava, but at the same time, I don't think so. But I do wonder, maybe if Ava has her mask with her right now, could it get stolen when she wasn't looking?
Huh?
Do you remember what you told me before?
It was bothering me that much. I had to choose between lying to you and eventually killing everyone here, or telling you the truth and joining your side.
And then you said you decided to take your chances with us, right?
Yes, I will no longer try to self-destruct in everyone's presence, for the reasons I previously explained.
Then will you fight with us instead?
What?
Bastion's the one who betrayed you is still alive, right? By joining us in battle, you can personally take revenge against her and her underlings.
Is that why Tsubasa asked to conduct a thorough investigation of my body the other day? So that if I ever tried anything, your team would be able to detonate the bomb inside my body remotely? Using the device she made?
Yes, but I just want to make one thing clear. I didn't ask for the device because I'm suspicious of you. It's just something that's needed to put the others at ease. Ava thought for a while about what I said.
Alright. You saved my life, so if there's anything I can do to help you, I'll do it.
Thank you. Unfortunately, you're still gonna have to wait for a while before I can let you out of here. I need to clear it up with the others first.
Understood. I'll wait.
Well, I'm at least glad that Ava's very understanding, all things considered. But now let's talk to someone who's very not understanding at the moment. I rang the doorbell. Ima. No answer. Tried doorknob, but it was locked. Ima, I know you're inside. Can we talk?
Hey!
I'm trying to track down the culprit, but I need I need something to go on. At that, a voice called out from the other side of the door.
Are you awake, Miss Sumino? Unfortunately, there's nothing I can tell you.
Come on, there's gotta be something.
You see, I'm suspicious of you too. I think you may have been the one who killed my dear sister.
What are you talking about? I didn't kill her. In the first place, Kako, she...
Duh?
Killed herself? Is that what you're trying to say?
Huh?
A preposterous suggestion. There was absolutely no reason for my dear sister to do such a thing. She had no worries, no sorrows. Even if she did develop any, she would have told me about them. My dear sister did not kill herself. I have no doubt she was murdered. Like I told you just now, I suspect that the killer may have been you, Mr. Samino. The only reason I haven't exacted vengeance yet is because I'm not completely sure it was you. Accidentally killing the wrong person could be playing right into the hands of the real culprit. But I might lose my sense of reason if we continue to speak much longer.
Duh?
Can you please leave now? While I'm still in my right mind.
You can sense that prolonging the conversation would lead nowhere. Yuma refused to respond to any further attempts to talk. I went to the gym last. When I stepped inside, I saw that Tsubasa and Takamaru were already there. We need something more to go on. Tsubasa, Takamaru, perfect timing. I need to ask you guys something.
What is it?
Remember that voice changer you showed me in the garage the other day? Is it still there?
Shoma told you about the culprit using the voice changer, huh?
Huh?
Yeah, he did.
You guessed right, Takumi. The device has gone missing.
I knew it. The culprit stole it, huh? Meaning they knew about the voice changer.
I think so.
Huh?
When did you realize it was gone?
On day 28, the day Shoma regained consciousness, I went to the garage to check after hearing his story and...
Voice changer was already gone.
yeah, without anyone realizing.
She shows the voice changer on the afternoon of day 24. So it must have been stolen between that time and the morning of day 27, before Shoma had gotten stabbed. What are you two doing here, though?
I did a lot of thinking to myself while you were out, and just don't believe Kaku killed herself.
Me too. At first, suicide seemed like the only possibility based on the situation. After listening to Hiroko, though, I started to realize how unnatural the whole thing seemed.
If she was killed, how'd the culprit get away? That's what we need to figure out.
That's the problem. It's a locked room mystery. The killer there has to be a secret to this gym. Some way that the killer can escape, but it's unknown to the rest of us.
And so here we are.
Maybe there's a secret tunnel or something here that's been completely missed, you know?
We're all here to do the same thing, then.
I mean,
Yeah, Kako died under such mysterious circumstances that I can't stop thinking about it.
Let's check the place out together.
yeah, and we trust each other since all three of us here are safers.
Savers?
Those of us that can be safely removed from the list of suspects. Safers.
That's true.
Fair enough. Began to investigate. We went around knocking on walls and floors to check for hidden doors. Some time passed before Takamaru shouted at us from the stage.
Hey, come over here. I found something crazy.
He was standing over a corner of the stage. Tsubasa and I hurried over. Bingo. What in the world?
Oh wait, there really was a hidden tunnel. Or should I say a hidden ladder?
I checked this place before, but I found nothing. What did you do?
Told you I got a dog's hearing. I knocked on the floor and knew right away there was an empty space underneath. Then I groped around the surface, and what do you know? Rotatable handle came flipping out. Grabbed the handle, pulled it, and there you have it.
Let's go down there and see it. Let's go see what's down there.
Yeah. Alright, where's this lead? Made our way down the long ladder. I felt my toes touching solid ground. What I saw there was... Oh! It's the escape pod! Isn't this...
You know this thing?
Yeah, remember what I told you before? This is the escape pod that deploys on the last day.
Huh? No way.
Damn.
Does that mean if we can get inside?
We can go to the artificial satellite.
We ran to the entrance of the pod and checked the door. There was a note pinned to it. The door to this pod automatically opens on day 100. No manual override available. Despite the note, we kept looking for a way to open it manually. However, we were unable to find anything. Nope, this thing can't be opened from outside.
How about we use a crowbar to pry it open?
Then the pod becomes useless because outer space is a vacuum.
So we have no choice but to wait till day 100.
Then we'll have to give up on the idea of boarding the pod before then.
Shit.
By the way, have you guys forgotten why we came down here in the first place?
This at least creates the idea that this is probably where the killer may have been hiding. Remember how Hiroko asked us to stay in the gym so that we could, like, watch for the killer and see if they escape the gym. This proves that that was ineffective because they could have still been in the gym, or rather, they could have been in the escape pod area. They knew they could probably hide away safely in the escape pod area because none of us knew about this area down here. So it would have been very easy for them to just hide away and then slip out and become like everyone else once we left the gym.
Of course not. We're trying to solve the locked room case, weren't we?
Yeah, Hiriko and I thoroughly investigated the gym after discovering Kako's body. But if the killer had been hiding in the storeroom or the ladder shaft at the time, he couldn't possibly have found them.
And after you and Hiriko left the gym, the killer got out and walked through the exit like nothing ever happened.
Which means Kako really was killed.
Well, that at least solves the locked room mystery. At least it should. We don't have concrete proof of that yet. However, this does disprove the previous notion that it couldn't possibly have been murder.
Wait. Assuming for a moment she was murdered, wouldn't that also prove the killer was an outsider? Because when we found Kako's body, Takemaru, Shoma, and I were in the infirmary, whereas everyone else was in the gym.
No, not everyone else. 2 are missing. That's right. Darmi and Ima. Ima couldn't have been the killer. He worshipped the ground she walked on.
Is that true? Could something have happened between Ima and Kako, you think?
Darmi, though? Said she was playing slots or something? She could have been lying through her teeth.
It's always possible that an outsider did it.
You made that life detection device yourself, unless you're telling me you made that number up.
I didn't know such thing. That was a correct number, but the killer could have already gone away by the time I finished making the device, right?
Just then I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, and I am on the ground next to the cockpit of the escape pod. What's this? Caught my eye for some reason, and I walked over slowly to pick it up. It's a handkerchief. Oh no. Well, I know who this belongs to, and it raises a billion questions because that says who the killer is, potentially. IT. Ima Tsukumo. Why is a handkerchief with Ima's initials down here?
Handkerchief?
So it seems.
I see something embroidered on it.
That reads IT.
Information technology?
Maybe just it, as in it girl?
Could be referring to the initials of a name?
Ima.
Tsukumo?
Yeah, we need to talk to Ima. And he cannot run away from it this time. When we exited the gym, we saw that it was already nighttime. I asked Takemaru and Tsubasa to gather the others before heading to Ima's room myself. Alright, Ima. Time to talk. Come out, Ima. I need to ask you about something. Somehow I felt like he would keep hiding if I told him about the handkerchief, so I decided not to say anything for now. We found a clue that may lead to Kako's killer. I made that assertion even though I had no solid proof she had been killed because I wanted him to get out of the room. A short while later, I heard the door being unlocked. There we go. And then Ima appeared from behind it.
You believed me about my dear sister being murdered.
Yes. Can you come with me? Slowly but surely, Ima nodded in assent. Takemaru, Tsubasa, and I took everyone to the storeroom where the escape pod was being kept. We told them about how we had found the place and how the pod could only be used on day 100. After climbing back out, we all headed to the cafeteria.
Huh?
So, what was the clue you found?
Before that, I need to check something with Darmi. On day 27, when we found Kako's body, were you really just playing slots at that time?
Huh? You're still suspicious of me? Then check the machine's play log. Then you'll know for sure I was playing around that time. How could I possibly stab Joe if I'd been hiding in that storeroom the whole time? The only way out of that place is through that tunnel, right? I would have been able to get out of the gym until the coast was clear.
Mayhaps you clambered out of the escape pod's elevator shaft.
I'm the Spire Woman, and that shaft has no footholds. It's impossible to climb.
The ceiling of that shaft is covered with a thick wall.
It's not something that can be opened by human hands. How about this? Were you the one who killed Kako, but not the one who stabbed Shoma? You're suggesting there were two culprits.
Ah, much better.
Indeed I am. And does number 2 ring any bells with regard to the situation? When we found Shoma's body, there were 2 people missing from the scene.
You're suspicious of me as well?
Ima's face twisted in a grimace. I hesitated for a moment when I saw his expression, but decided to show everyone the handkerchief we had found. This is the clue I was talking about. We found it in the escape pod storeroom. The letter's IT have been embroidered on it.
Are these initials? Huh? Would that refer to Ima Tsukumo?
I thought so. This is your handkerchief, right, Ima? And the fact that it was in the storeroom means...
So Ima killed Lady Kako? Are you out of your mind? Me? Kill my very own dear sister?
Didn't think that was possible either. Unless Ima was the one that stabbed Shoma and Darmi, but he was the one that killed Kako. Ima dropped the handkerchief in the storeroom when he was casing the joint.
I told you it wasn't me!
You think Miss Amamiya and I were accomplices? And that I tacitly approved of my dear sister's murder? That's no different from accusing me of killing my dear sister myself! You're crazy. I can't believe that thought even crossed your minds.
So you denied the charge?
Of course I do.
Now explain yourself. Why was your handkerchief in the storeroom?
That's because...
You see, you are feeling guilty.
No. No. No, 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 no.
Uh-oh. Ima dashed out of the cafeteria screaming. Wait, Ima! We all dashed after him. Stop him! Ima grabbed the fire extinguisher in the entrance hall before running outside. We followed him as he ran out of the building. He was running at full speed through the schoolyard, and none of us could catch up. Finally, he tore through the wall of fire and ran to the other side. We followed behind. After him! When we got to the city ruins, something unexpected happened. All of a sudden, a large object shaped like an onion appeared out of nowhere and captured Ima, who had been running ahead of us. Ima! The onion object then flew high up into the air with Ima and vanished out of sight. Hell? What just happened?
And what was that thing?
I'd seen that onion-shaped thing before in the previous timeline. Oh, it was the freaking UFO. It was probably a commander. Oh, no. Oh, it was Quinzale. That's what it was.
And that's how a true lady slaughters her prey.
You call him onion-shaped?
That's what threw me for a loop.
That almost felt planned.
Are you serious? Ima's been captured by the enemy.
No way.
That can't be true. It's alright, we can probably figure out where they went.
What?
You know Ima's been rather emotionally unstable lately, right? So much so that I thought he might just up and go missing one day, so... I secretly plan to transparent his body and been bringing food to him. We should be able to see where they took him from the war room. You clever girl, you.
Okay, let's head back for now. Alright. We traced the transmitter and quickly found out exactly where Ima had been taken. It was the enemy relay station we had visited in the previous timeline. We immediately started making a plan to get Ima back. After some discussion, we decided to split into 2 teams. The rescue team, me, Hideko, Takimaru, Tsubasa, and Kurara. The defense team, Nozomi, Moko, Kyoshika, Yugamu, Shoma, and Darumi. Must we rescue him even though he may very well be the killer? It's not set in stone yet. What if it was all a mistake? Could you ever live with the fact that you abandoned an innocent friend? I knew you would say that. I was just making sure. Having only 5 people on the defense team is not very reassuring.
Yeah, can we add one more or something?
No, what if the enemy attacks in the meantime?
We can't afford to be lax on home security.
In that case, attack me.
Yeah, it's time. Everybody, follow me. Let's get move on. Aha!
So Takumi, Lady Ava's out and about now. Why have you done such a thing?
Yes, as you can see, I led her around.
But why?
I intend to let her join the rescue team.
Huh?
I explained about the bomb in Ava's body and the remote detonator we had made to trigger it. And you really think this will work? If you feel like she's acting suspicious, you can press the button and blow her up yourself. Huh? I put the remote detonator into an astonished Hiriko's hand. Now do you feel reassured? Hiriko fell silent at my words. After a few moments, she said,
Have it your way. Thank you for having me on the team. I look forward to being useful to you.
we actually get to have the real Ava on our team for once. All right then, we'll be right back.
Ema, good luck. Stay safe.
It's weird actually having the real Ava with us. The rescue set up for the enemy relay station where Emo is being held captive. It is cool though, having the real Ava with us. Like, not just some mind-controlled personality. By the time we got close to the relay station, the sun was just starting to rise. We got off the bus and climbed up a small hill to survey the relay station. Here we go.
We don't know where exactly Ema is being held in this base, but that doesn't matter. Let's just bust in there and start kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, you guys already saw how that commander could fly.
That has to be Quenzele.
Yeah.
Quenzele? Is that his name?
Yes, and he's an absolute creep. Feel free to make mincemeat out of him.
Wow.
A flying enemy? Sounds like a headache already. How do we even get to
I'm sorry.
him?
I'm sorry.
Yes, and he's an absolute creep.
Damn.
Feel free to make mincemeat out of him.
What, is Quinzele like the Gaku of your group?
We'll be fine with my specialist skill on our side. I'll whip up some surface-to-air artillery and knock him down in one shot.
I mean, I guess he is the paragon of repulsion.
The thing is, I'll have to start crafting it after he actually appears.
Why after again?
Why? Can't you just make it now?
This particular
Oh, right.
weapon can only
Forgot.
hold its shape for 5 minutes. After that, its internal pressure will cause it to explode.
Got it. Guess there's no helping it then.
Okay, guys, let's do this. Special Defense Unit, move out.
Wait, hang on. I just realized Ava... How is Ava... Wait, I actually want to see this for a second. I want to see what happens with Ava. It's been a while since I actually saw this. So, Ava's gonna use the artificial class armor? Yep, sure enough. Kind of weird that she's just using the artificial class armor when she can... Well, I don't know. Are you gonna be good to use it? Skip. Skip. I barely do anything in this game anymore. Again, I know I could fight.
Now, do you understand that I would never betray you?
Thank you, Ava.
I shall reserve judgment until this entire battle is over.
Where's the commander?
That Quenzele guy?
He should be here any time now. Aha. Speak of the devil.
There's the whalefish. The windfish. I've been playing too much Zelda stuff recently.
He's finally here, like moths to a flame.
I've actually been wanting to, sometime
Everybody,
after dealing with
cover
the
Kurata while
Bravely
she crafts
Default
the artillery.
game, because I'm going to be starting that playthrough soon, if it's not already started by the point I'm saying this, because I realize this is probably going to be uploaded by... This episode probably... now that I think about it, this episode's going to be uploaded on my birthday, because if it's July 2nd, yeah, that's my birthday. Yippee! But, oh, hey, I just realized also, if that's the case, my birthday has episode 70 on it. That's funny.
Understood.
My favorite number, 7. Anyways, as I was saying before, after getting done with like Bravely Default and stuff, I was thinking I might play through some Zelda games. One Zelda game that I especially wanted to play through
Told you it
again,
wouldn't take
that I
long.
might play through on recording, is maybe Skyward Sword, because I think that would be a lot of fun. Plus, with the Switch 2, it could be pretty fun too, seeing how if the game runs better and stuff. I've been playing through a lot of Switch games to see how much better it runs, or how many what games run so much better on Switch 2. What did I just say? I feel like I just said a jumble of words that didn't make any sense. Oh well. Anyways, you win. Perfect.
The pain. It hurts. Why do this? What has prompted this cruelty?
You stole a friend.
Serves you right, Quinzele.
Ava, do you have some sort of grudge against Quinzele?
You're...
Wait.
Ava. I noticed you were here a while back, but...
Again, I keep mentioning it, but I have to keep reiterating it. If this game gets DLC, which it better, and the creator did say he wants to make DLC for it, please give us more development on the commanders, because they seem so fun to, they seem like such fun characters to be able to learn more about. I would love just a bunch of routes revolving around the commanders and doing stuff with them. I think it would be awesome to have that kind of thing. I want to see what they all look like. I want to see more of their powers and how they act and stuff like that. And I want to know, why is Ava so... What has Quinzele done to have such a title of repulsion and have the hatred of Ava of all people?
Does this mean you've switched allegiances?
Yes. It's not as if I had any future in the Sovereign Army anyway.
Quinzele broke off and stared at something behind us.
Overlord Veshness!
What?
Oh, for God's sake.
Huh?
Don't tell me.
It's too late. Jackass!
He got away?
Freaking coward.
I guess you could say that Quinzele has been... quinceled.
Okay, so Ava likes puns, does she? Kill her. Imagine Hiroko just bombed. Activate bomb. After the battle, we split up to look for Ima. Took a while, but I eventually found him locked up in a cage.
Ima, are you alright? Hold on. I'll get you out now.
Mr. Samino!
You alright? Swung my sword down the lock and broke it apart with a loud noise. You alright? I opened the door and quickly guided Ima outside, but then... I saw something flashing out the corner of my eye right next to the cage. Ah, shit.
Bomb?
Run! You're right. I instinctively grabbed Ima from behind. The snap action met my body, shielding Ima from the brunt of the blast. A scalding pain rippled through my back. I choked down a cry of pain and asked,
Ima, are you okay?
Yes! But what about you?
Yeah, don't worry about me.
I'll be fine.
As long as you're fine.
Huh? Mr. Samino!
We're gonna get knocked out for a couple days again, aren't we? Day 42, 50. Yep.
Get ready. You're in on. If you're here.
Wait, hang on. Shut up, Egg. But first off, you're halfway there like a lizard on a chip. Lizard on a chip.
Hearing this record, so no presents for any.
Shut up, Egg. Yep. This time she wasn't shocked at all. Oh, okay.
Morning. You're awake now?
I'm surprised you're not freaking out. I didn't have to ask about the day since it was mentioned in the morning announcement just now.
It's day 50 today.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about the feeding drips.
I wasn't
We
concerned.
went to the second academy and brought a whole lot back.
Thank you, Nozomi.
Thanks as always.
You should thank the others too. They were the ones who actually got the drips. And I wasn't the only person taking care of you while you were out.
How's Ima? For some strange reason, I wasn't feeling any aches or pain. Ima good?
You seem fine physically. The truth is, your external injuries weren't as bad as they seemed.
Which means the real reason I was out for such a long time was because of the fainting disease?
I think so. Has anything changed? Between the murder cases, we haven't made any progress. Ima and Darmi are still denying they were working together. Tsubasa and I don't believe they did anything either, but the others? Oh, something else has changed though. Ima's been taking part in the defensive battles.
What?
You shielded him back at the enemy relay station, remember? He said he's joining the fight for you.
I see.
That said, he's still as reticent as ever, and hardly ever leaves his room. Who can blame him though? Other than Tsubasa and me, everybody's suspicious of him. But he did say he was willing to tell you and only you everything.
Huh? Really?
Yep, so go find him later, okay?
Later? Were you expecting me to not act right now after what you just told me? I jumped up and dashed outside immediately. I must say, you were crazy, Nozomi. Ima, let's talk. Mr. Sumino, first of all, thank you for saving me that day. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Don't mention it, really. But I really want to hear from you some answers. Ima nodded firmly. I was going to tell you everything after you woke up anyway. Not only because I owe you a debt of gratitude, but also because I'm now sure you couldn't have been the killer. Because the real killer would have never risked his own life to save me like that. It is my deepest desire to find the person who killed my dear sister, and then smash their face in with a hammer over and over again till there's nothing left of it. Yes, I am but a detective assistant. I do not deal well with deductions. So I have decided to entrust this earnest wish of mine to you. I have the utmost confidence that you have what it takes to bring the truth to light. I intend to do just that, as soon as I get some answers from you. Now, first of all, why didn't you kill Darmi? What? You think the killer is one of us, don't you?
Yeah!
Yes. When Kako's body was found, you and Darmi were the only ones down the gym. Unless you were the killer. But that can't be right. That can't be, right? Of course not! If so, from your perspective, only one other person could have been hiding in the storeroom at that time. None other than Darmi, yet you didn't go smash her head in with a hammer until there was nothing left. Why not? Mrs. Umino, I see what you're getting at, and you are right. It was because I knew it was possible for someone else to have been my dear sister's killer. Because there's a hidden exit in that storeroom, right? He nods slowly in response to my question. Opposite the cockpit section of the escape pod lay a heap of metal containers. When we moved the heap away, we found a large ventilation shaft. Aha! Is this it? Yes. It's big enough even for Takemaru and Moko to pass through. So that's yet another way you could get around. Not even with the escape pod hangar, there's still yet another way to go through the school, which is taking this vent. I swear to God, there's a specific reference that's about to be made here. You're quite right. Have you ever gone inside before? No, sir. I stuck my head into the shaft but couldn't see anything in the pitch black darkness. When did you realize there was a storeroom here? About day 10, I would say. My dear sister found the entrance first. She was the one who brought me here. After that, we would secretly visit this place together whenever we had some free time. It became something like a secret hiding spot of ours. Why didn't you tell anyone? I did not tell you before because I thought you were my dear sister's killer. I did not tell the others because, well... Promise me you will not get angry. Yeah? Because my sister and I intended to flee this place together in that escape pod. That's not possible. The door can't be opened manually. We thought we could do something about that by tinkering with the control system in the war room. I sighed and continued the conversation. But you kept this place a secret even after Kako was murdered. If you told us about it, we'd have been able to accept your assertion and that Kako hadn't killed herself. I promised my dear sister that no matter what happened, I would never tell anyone about this place. She had tears in her eyes when she made me promise. I see.
I want us to live together in the Tokyo residential complex again. Just the two of us. But we have to get out of this place first. We'll be killed one day if we stay here.
Yeah!
I believe I may have dropped the handkerchief at that time. Yeah, that adds up. When I was putting it back into my pocket after wiping my dear sister's tears away. This place was our sanctuary. We didn't want anyone else invading our space. Even after my dear sister lost her life, it felt like I would be desecrating her memory by allowing someone else in. That is why I told nobody.
Large tears started rolling down Ima's cheeks, and I wordlessly held out his handkerchief to him. Ima accepted the handkerchief and clenched it tightly in his hand. He squeezed his eyes shut, and for a long time after that, his shoulders trembled nonstop. Well, now it makes a lot more sense why his handkerchief was down there. And I don't believe it could have been him that killed Kako. It just doesn't make sense with everything we've seen of him in other routes combined. I mean, think of the slasher route. He knew that his sister had become a zombie, and yet he didn't care. He was willing to just jump straight into her arms. After Ima had calmed down, we climbed back up to the surface. Tsubasa was in the garage as usual when we stepped inside. Alright.
Ima, you're an unusual sight around here.
Even more unusual than me being awake?
I mean, I already heard about you from Nozomi. She's been going around telling everyone the news, you know? Anyway, what's up?
Just want to know if there's a recon drone anywhere around here, with lights and cameras if possible.
Yes, but what do you need it for?
It's kind of hard to explain. Can you just come with us and bring the recon drone?
We need to solve the case.
Tsubasa blinked a few times in quick succession at Ima's words.
Alright, give me a sec.
Alright.
Uh-oh. If there's a ventilation shaft here, that means... I see how it is.
Yeah, exactly. If Kako was killed, the presence of this shaft makes everybody in the academy a suspect. Including the safers for Shoma's case.
Including me. Yet you still brought me here. Does that mean you trust me?
Kind of. Sort of.
You don't sound very sure. I'll take it, though. Okay, let's start.
Thanks. Alright, let's see what we can find. As a result, we were able to make a few major discoveries.
Right, in summary, this is what we've learned. First of all, the shaft bends in a zigzag shape a few times and extends towards the school building.
It splits into a grid structure halfway and connects to different parts of the building.
Anyone using this can basically exit from anywhere they like.
However, the bends are extremely narrow and people our size can't possibly get through them.
Only someone with only someone with a body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends.
I'm more concerned about what we found halfway.
Yeah, me too. This thing, right? This thing that got caught on the protrusion in the interior wall. Green. Wait. Green. There's only so many people with green on them, I feel. At least that kind of green, and we're talking small. If we're talking green and small, then... Shoma?
Thankfully, we were able to retrieve it because I had the foresight to attach a robotic arm to the drone.
It's a piece of cloth, right? A square green piece of cloth about an inch long.
I looked at Ima, then Tsubasa. They looked back at me with wide, questioning eyes. It's apparent they hadn't yet realized the grave implication behind this. That would imply that Shoma's the only one who could fit through there. He's small, at least when he's not buffing himself up, and he has clothing that fits this color green. Maybe a certain incident had blinded them to the existence of that possibility. Is it possible that Shoma attacked Kako? I put the piece of cloth in my pocket, looked them both in the eye, and said, Tell everyone to gather at the gym at 7 p.m. tonight.
This is quite sudden.
Please, just do it. They turned to look at each other.
I don't mind.
What will you be doing until then?
Well, you'll see. Had enough proof to make my case, but I wanted just one more piece of key evidence. So I went to the back of the school, to the place where Shoma had been stabbed. I spent a few hours thoroughly investigating every nook and cranny. Before long, the sun set and my shadow started growing longer. It was at that time I found something, a faint trace of blood out on the corner of the rock. It was maybe 30 feet away from where Shoma had been stabbed. I didn't think blood from his injuries could have been sprayed that far, which meant... Why is this blood here? That's what we need. I entered the gym at 7 p.m. sharp to find everybody already gathered there. There's a certain person here who's got a lot of oddities about them now. Something that makes no sense. And I'm starting to wonder if their story's true. Ava, you're here too?
Yes, I received an official release. I've been given Ada's room and do not have to sleep in the cage anymore. All credit goes to Takumi and Tsubasa. The remote detonator suggested as to let everyone to accept my presence with the greatest peace of mind. I deleted the device and gave a copy to everyone. I'll pass you yours later, Takumi.
Nah, I don't need one.
Aside, why are we all here?
Well, you see. I turned my gaze upward, then slowly lowered my head.
I figured out who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma.
Do we have to go through?
Mrs. Amino, wait a minute, please. You just said that with absolute certainty that my dear sister was indeed killed.
Yes, the situation points to that fact.
Who did it?
Ima, I need you to promise me something. Promise you won't lay a finger on the killer when you realize who they are. I won't tell you the truth unless you promise me that. I saw him gritting his teeth with a scowl on his face. Still, he nodded firmly and said,
Fine. I promise that I won't lay a finger on that accursed scum.
Good. All right. Much as I wish I didn't have to do this. Here goes.
It's starting to make me question if their story makes sense at all.
The
What?
person who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma. It was the name, that person.
Just say it, damn it. The vent is what does it for me. There's only one person in my mind that makes sense. There's only one person regarding the vent situation who could actually pass through. And that person is Shoma.
The real killer. You! Shoma Ginzaki!
What are you talking about, Takumi?
Your story is highly suspect, buddy.
Have you forgotten that I was a victim too? I was stabbed!
No.
Stop running your mouth and just watch as I expose every
now,
last
now we're
detail
turning
of
into
your
Danganronpa.
criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
Let's do it, Shoma. Begin persuasion. It's been a long time since we've done this. I'll tell you what happened in chronological order. Let's start with Kako. Her estimated time of death is between 1 and 4 a.m. on day 27. You met up with her before that, on day 26, to tell her to come to the gym during that period of time. So she showed up at the gym as asked. Where you made up some reason for her to swallow that thing.
That thing? What thing?
The TTX.
I'm talking about TTX. Tetrodotoxin.
It's extremely poisonous. Ingesting just 1 to 2 milligrams is fatal. That's how you poison Kako to death. After poisoning Kako, you put the bottle of TTX into her right hand. Then you block the gym door using a mop as a latch. Thinking you could make her death seem like a suicide with all that nonsense. Once that was done, you climbed down the ladder at the corner of the stage into the escape pod storeroom. You already knew that the shaft was there, because you'd seen Ima and Kako going into the trap door before. You did your homework and went down to check out the storeroom as well, before carrying out your plan. That's why you also knew about the ventilation shaft. And you used that vent to return to the school building. That's the main reason causing me to single you out as the culprit.
The main reason? Anyone could have used the ventilation shaft to get back into the school.
No, that's impossible, because you are the only one that fits.
I can. Because of how the shaft bends in a zigzag shape and extends towards the school building.
The bends are extremely narrow. Only someone with a body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends. In other words, the only one who could have gone through those narrow bends is you, Shoma.
You can't say that for sure. A girl who was flexible enough could have passed through that as well, right?
No, it's physically impossible. Anyway, there's something left behind in the ventilation shaft. That's what's going to serve as irrefutable proof of your guilt.
Irrefutable proof?
Green cloth.
Here it is. This square piece of inch-wide green cloth.
Out of all of us, only Kurara, Takemoto, and Shoma wear something green on them. But Kurara's tomato mask isn't made of cloth, so this scrap can't be hers. The shade of green on Takemaru's jacket is less vibrant than the scrap, too. Shoma, turn around.
Why?
Just do it.
I just checked. A part of Shoma's backpack has been torn. The torn part perfectly matches this cloth scrap. Indeed, I too witnessed it and have concluded they are a perfect match.
You couldn't have passed through the narrow bends of that shaft while still wearing your backpack. But you couldn't leave it in the shaft either. So you tied the shoulder straps to your feet and pulled it along as you climbed up. That's how the backpack got caught on the sharp edge protruding out of the inner wall of the shaft. This cloth scrap got torn off because of that.
No, no, no! This is a fake evidence planned by the real culprit! Someone's trying to frame me!
If that was the case, why would that someone stab you? That one act would completely divert all suspicion away from you. Now, this next part is all just conjecture. Shoma, you were actually intending to kill Ima as well, weren't you? That plan went awry because Kaka showed up at the gym alone. So you had no choice but to kill only her. But that made things difficult for you because Ima knew about the storeroom as well. What's more, he also knew about the ventilation shaft. If he told anybody about the shaft, this would no longer be a locked room case. And if we pursued the case as a murder, we would eventually close in on you. So you wanted to kill Ima afterward. But it was almost dawn by the time you crawled out from the ventilation shaft. That left you with no time to do anything about Ima. So you panicked and started thinking about ways to remove yourself from the suspect list. That's how you ended up deciding to kill yourself. If you could make everyone think you had been mutilated by the culprit, we would never even dream of suspecting you.
You're being ridiculous! This is way too bold a plan for someone like me!
Who would dare kill themselves just to make it seem like they were innocent?
You weren't actually gonna die.
Of course. Actually dying was never part of your plan.
In fact, you were absolutely confident you wouldn't die because we have the Revive-O-Matic in the infirmary. But for that to work, you had to die in a way that allowed us to find your dead body quickly. After all, we wouldn't be able to revive you if too much time had passed. That's why you screamed, right? And right after the morning announcements, so that everyone could hear you. Then you stabbed yourself all over and temporarily ended your own life.
I can't believe I'm listening to this. Please be realistic. No one in their right mind would willingly stab themselves that many times.
Really?
It just doesn't make any sense.
What about the
We're not
Gamma-Feel? The thing that prevents that pain from feeling.
No?
If you injected yourself with a powerful anesthetic like Gamma-Feel. Remember what Yugamu said? At the proper dilution, this substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing loss of consciousness. Yep, and I still stand by that.
It doesn't make sense. It does make sense, actually. So you're trying to say that I used that drug to do the deed, right? But where would I even go find a drug like that?
You probably stole it from somewhere.
Stole it from where?
Oh, do I even have to answer this? You know exactly where it was stolen.
From the biolab.
That room is unlocked and everyone has access to the shelves. Getting the drug from there wouldn't have been a problem for you.
Alright, assuming that I did inject myself with that anesthetic.
How did I get rid of the hypodermic needle afterwards? When you found me at the back of the building, was...
Nope. Whoops.
You
Always been a glutton. Are you insane?
How did I get rid of the hypodermic needle afterwards? When you found me...
You tossed it away.
You must have tossed it somewhere far away when you were done with it.
What about the knife? Where'd the knife I used to stab myself disappear to?
You tossed that far away as well, just like you did with the syringe.
Did anyone find any of those things at the scene?
No, but nobody searched the area nearby on day 27, the day of the incident. You could have collected those items the next day on day 28 after you woke up.
But still, you're just guessing at this point. You've got no real proof. No proof that I threw the knife away after stabbing myself.
I do have proof. It's not with me right now, but I did find something. There was something some 30 feet away from where we found you.
What was it?
Blood. Did I say champagne?
I saw bloodstains. Just a little patch on the corner of a rock.
In a place where blood from your injuries couldn't have reached. Those stains prove that the bloody knife had been thrown over there.
That's enough already. It doesn't matter what you're trying to say because you have no solid proof.
The green cloth was the only piece of substantial evidence you managed to produce.
Let's see if we can...
It's time you stopped playing dumb, Shoma.
I do actually have another piece of conclusive evidence.
What?
The bottle of TTX Kako was holding. Your fingerprints were on it.
That can't be. It can't be. It just can't. It can't!
No more running, gamer.
My fingerprints can't be on that bottle. I was wearing gloves when I...
Bingo.
You fell for it.
Easy, easy, easy.
No. That was just a slip of the tongue.
Oh, it definitely was a slip.
It was just... anyway, I'm not...
No more hiding.
Give it up, Shoma. I'll say it again. The person who killed Kako by making her drink TTX. It was none other than you!
Shoma Gensaki!
Shoma Genzake!
Ah!
But why, though? We got our culprit. Persuasion complete.
Takumi, you got a few things wrong, but for the most part, you were correct. It was me. I killed Kako.
Back off, Ema, you promised. So, which parts did I get wrong?
The entire premise to begin with, I did not kill her of my own volition. I was ordered to do so by a certain someone. Let's call this person X for now.
Stop trying to make excuses for yourself!
I'm telling you the truth. Please believe me.
Tell us more about this order you received.
Just before dawn on day 26, I woke up to someone tapping my cheek. When I opened my eyes, X was there, right in front of me.
He didn't lock the door.
I did. I think X was already hiding inside before I came in. Under the bed or something.
What did X say?
X said,
I killed Gaku and intend to make you my next target. But I'll let you off if you follow my instructions. If you go against me or tell the others about my existence, I'll blow up the bomb inside your body immediately. Yes, the bomb planted in all of your bodies by that robot known as Seaway.
just who is this X person?
Uh,
I don't know. They were wearing a long black poncho. They wore a mask over their face and used a voice changer to hide their real voice.
That sounds like a fake stabber you made up for us.
I mean, it's true I wasn't stabbed by a person of that description, but that person definitely exists.
What happened after that?
I followed X's instructions. I didn't want to be killed the way Gaku had been. X came up with the entire plan. They told me about the ladder shaft, escape pod hanger, and ventilation sap. The tetrodotoxin. It was X who obtained that bottle of TTX2. After that, I simply asked Kako to meet using the script X had prepared.
What's the script say?
You speak to her on the afternoon of day 26. Kako, I know about the storeroom with the escape pod too. I did some research in the library and found a way to open the cockpit and launch the pod into space. So would you like to escape from this academy together with me and Ema? If so, come with Ema to the gym tonight at 2 a.m. The plan was to kill not just Kako, but Ema as well. They really are people who knew about the storeroom. Killing them both at the same time in a locked room would make their death seem like suicide. But only Kako showed up at the gym at the specified time, 2 a.m.
Why?
Kako said this.
I haven't told my dear brother what you told me yet. First, I need to verify whether your information is authentic or not. If it's true, then we set off tomorrow. But keep it a secret from my dear brother, alright? I want to surprise him.
I hesitated to execute the plan because she had showed up alone. And X also told me,
If you chicken out and do nothing, I'll still blow you up.
so I passed Kako a water ball mixed with TTX. Alchemy more or less covered what happened after that until I returned to the school building. Except I had not foreseen that my backpack would get torn along the way. After returning to the first floor of the school building, I was at a loss because I didn't know what I was supposed to do about Ima. It was going to be difficult to kill him because the sun had already risen by then. Suddenly X appeared again.
Ima probably knows about the ventilation shaft. If he spills the beans, they'll all know Kako didn't die in a locked room. They'll start investigating the case as a murder instead of assuming it was a suicide. The morning announcement will be playing soon. You won't make it back to the roof in time. Somebody will realize you were out and about before dawn.
So did X give the plan to first Ima to, or for Shoma to kill himself?
But rest assured, for if you do as I say, you'll never even make it to the suspect list.
That's why.
That's why you went to the back of the building and...
Yes, I've been left with no other choice. I was hesitant right up until the moment I injected myself with the gamma field. Once I did that, it was as if my sense of fear completely evaporated. Oh, X gave me the gamma fuel as well, along with a knife and syringe. I'm pretty sure X must have been the one to collect the knife and syringe that I dropped after I did the deed. Because I know I definitely didn't retrieve them.
Story thus told, Shoma slumped to his shoulders and bowed his head deeply. The silence that followed stretched on until Hiriko finally spoke up. I just have one last question, Shoma. Do the words back or heart ring any bells?
Back or heart? No, I have no idea.
Thank you. Your reaction was the answer I needed. Guess that's that talk of me? Yeah, X must have done it, if Shoma wasn't involved in that particular affair. So X was the one responsible for the holes. So whoever this X person is, they're the one that's going for the hearts, but why? Is it simply that X doesn't want to get their own hands bloodied and risk getting caught, so they're convincing other people to do it? So that he can just go into the morgue and steal their heart cider? Everybody was looking at us in confusion. Probably because nobody knew that somebody had stolen the hearts from the dead bodies. Then Shoma started trembling like a leaf, as if he suddenly remembered something.
Oh no, that's it, I'm gone for. I told you about X. The bomb inside me is gonna blow up now.
Nothing's happening.
Did this X person lie to you?
I think he must have. Amateur can't possibly make a detonator for the bomb in their bodies. Only someone with my level of skill and experience.
Sumisa Gonzaki won't be executed.
Oh dear.
And I'll do it myself! I'll kill you! I'll tear you limb from limb!
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't honestly have the heart to stop him at this point. He let out a guttural roar and charged towards Shoma so quickly nobody had time to react. Goodbye, Shoma. Shoved Shoma to the ground, clambered on top of him, and started strangling him so hard it almost seemed like he might rip his head off.
Go to hell! Ima, no!
I ran over in a panic and pulled Ima off. Shoma had fainted and was frothing at the mouth. Yugamu darted over and conducted a quick check.
He's fine. Just passed out.
Damn it! Damn it!
I understand, buddy. I get it.
Dear sister! My dear sister! My dear sister!
After that heartbreaking outburst, Ima simply collapsed on the spot. Nozomi and Tsubasa rushed over and started comforting him. Everybody else was at a loss, simply staring quietly at Ima as they stood rooted to the spot. The sound of Ima's pained wails echoed coldly and endlessly through the walls of the building. We moved the unconscious Shoma into the cage in the courtyard and made sure it was properly locked. You're staying in there, buddy. Once I was done, I shoved the key deep inside my pocket. Everyone returned to their rooms without saying another word. I soon found myself completely alone. Looking up at the night sky, I thought about what had happened. Kako's case had been solved, but that didn't mean it was all over. Someone out there killed Gaku and instructed Shoma to kill Kako. This was likely the same person who had been stealing hearts from the bodies in the morgue. X, the real mastermind behind this entire string of events. I had to find out who this person was, by hook or by crook. And I would, no matter what I did. I clenched my fist tightly. I would let nothing shake me from this firm resolve.
Get prepared. Be ready to...
Shut up, Egg. This is definitely not gonna be the last murder.
Wake up!
Oh,
Something's
Jesus.
happened!
That was way faster than I thought. Alright. Is it Shoma? What happened?
What's going on?
I was up so early, so I went to check up on Shoma, and Shoma, he...
What happened to him?
Just come with me, quickly!
Oh, dear. Then ran toward the cage without stopping. We saw... Now he's dead for real, for real.
Shoma!
Kyoshika grabbed the gate and tried to open it.
It is still locked and will not budge.
Doesn't Takumi have the key?
Hold on, I'll unlock it now.
I dug the key out of my pocket and slid it into the keyhole. Once the gate was unlocked, I opened it and went inside. I immediately ran to Shoma and touched his neck, checking for a pulse. At that moment, something felt a little off.
It's wet.
Huh?
What?
I touched his clothes and they were wet as well. What? Why?
Well, is he alive or not?
I already checked that. As you can clearly see, he's already...
Maybe we can still revive him if we bring him to the infirmary like last time.
No good. Look how much blood he's lost. Since I had touched the body, I already knew that too much time had passed. But I decided to go along with it anyway.
Yeah, we should try that.
Cause of death. Hemorrhagic shock. Estimated time of death, day 51, between 2 and 5 a.m. Multiple stab wounds on the chest and abdomen. The murder weapon is likely a sharp blade about 8 inches long. Too much time has passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in body. Impossible to revive. So who stabbed Shoma now? After everyone had a chance to view the monitor, the mood in the room became heavier.
What the hell's going on? How'd the killer get to Shoma when we locked the cage?
Takumi, did you lock the door last night?
Yes, I did. So nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was sleeping.
Tuh.
And I know I'm repeating myself, but that key is unique. It cannot be copied.
Well, and narrows down the list of possible suspects to just Takumi, right?
Don't you ever get tired of mindlessly repeating the same thing?
Are we overlooking the other possibility that he stabbed himself, like before? This time in a way that would be impossible for us to revive him. I can't think of any other reason why he'd wind up dead in a locked cage in the middle of the night.
Well then, who supplied him with the knife?
It had to be X, right? If it was X, they would have passed him some gamma fuel in a syringe.
Yeah, ain't no one strong enough to keep mutilating yourself like that without being drugged the hell out of their mind.
They could have used one of the bottles that had been stolen previously. We moved Shoma's remains to the morgue. There were now 4 bodies laying on the tables there. At Ima's request, we made sure that Kako and Shoma's bodies were not placed next to each other. Ima walked to Shoma's dead body and stared at it for a long time. Then he said,
You got what you deserved.
So now what? How did Shoma die? We investigated the courtyard together. Despite combing over every inch of the area, we found no trace of a knife or syringe. The only thing we found was... a balloon? It was lying on the floor near Shoma's cage. Although I couldn't immediately figure out if it was related to the case, I decided to stuff it in my pocket just in case. Soon the last rays of sunlight disappeared into the horizon and the darkness of night took over. It was already way past dinner time. Seeing that none of us had an appetite after all that, we skipped the cafeteria and gathered at the rec room instead. So...
This makes it 3 people who have lost their lives because of X. We don't know for sure if X had anything to do with Shoma's case yet. Of course they did. We'd all be in serious trouble if it wasn't X. Because that would mean that there are 2 killers of X's caliber running around free. So who do you think X might be?
Everyone fell silent. This was the question I was dreading the most, and it seemed like the others felt the same. Ever since Shoma shared his side of the story last night, we'd all been avoiding that particular issue. But it was time to face reality. I steeled myself and turned to Tsubasa. Tsubasa, do you still have the organic life detection device?
Yeah.
Oh.
12. The exact same number as the people present here.
Oh.
That means...
Somebody among us is an X.
No, wait. It could have been someone who came in at midnight and left the school before the sun came up. Sadly, it's not possible. The device comes with a history log. At 4 a.m. last night, the number changed from 13 to 12 and stayed there. So Shoma was murdered at 4 a.m. last night. Huh? Yeah.
Miss Magadori, we are discussing something more important here.
The number reduced by 1 when Shoma lost his life, but after that, it neither went up or down. Proving that nobody came into the school or left it, right? Yeah.
Thing is, we're all screwed if we don't do something. X trying to kill us all, and that message that they're doing just that. The more we put this off, the more people will be dropping dead, one by one.
Well, I agree with the part about doing something, at least.
Hey, Takumi, you're a leader. Come up with something.
Maybe... how about we make it compulsory to move around in groups of at least 3 during the day?
Didn't someone mention before that 3 is a risky number?
That was because your 2 other teammates could be working together. But the situation has changed. According to Shoma, X is just one person.
That's right, so a group of 3 should be fine.
What about at night?
Feels like that's the main thing. So far, all of them were taken out at night.
Then we should... we're back to this.
Phew, done and done.
Are we all going to be sleeping here from now on?
How bland boring. Getting evacuation center vibes here.
Would you prefer bland and boring, or dead in a ditch?
We've used currents to divide the area up into rooms, so everybody will have some semblance of privacy.
Is this really going to work? What if the killer strikes while we're all sleeping? In fact, that's why we're avoiding sleeping in one spot until now, right?
Yes, and that's why I'm thinking of having a sentry system. 3 people will be on watch at all times. We'll also rotate 1 person out every hour.
And if anything happens, just shout. That's reassuring. Now I can get a good night's rest. My skin will thank me.
Looks like we're agreed then.
This arrangement should stop X from causing further harm. We should be safe for a while. Now we just have to continue our investigation and expose X's identity before they tried anything else. There's just one other thing that was bothering me. Shoma was killed today. I saw his body with my own eyes. Which meant...
Whoa! Why is it day 75?
Get ready! Prepare. Be ready to get...
Shut up, Egg. What happened?
First thought that crossed my mind and at that time was not again, along with a sense of resignation. Oh, for God's sakes. Hey, guys.
Takumi! He awakens!
I ain't the one to sweat the small stuff, but you gave us a real scare this time.
You went out for 23 old days.
Is that a new record?
Now, for the love of murder. I turned slowly to look at everyone and said, everyone's safe.
Thanks to your last words.
My last words.
We're out to move in groups during the day and sleep together at night. Remember, those were the instructions you gave us on day 51. We've been able to survive all this time because of them.
X hasn't had an opportunity to strike.
That also means X is still...
Yes, we still don't know who they are. If we did, we would have thrown them in a cage and tossed away the key already.
Now that I got a better look at them, I saw signs of fatigue on everyone's faces. X is among us. I'll be killed if I walk around with only one other person. They've all had to spend the last 23 days under the crushing weight of such thoughts. It's no wonder their mental fatigue was starting to show physically.
Oh, right. There's something you need to know.
What is it?
About 10 days ago, we met with the boy with the undying flames.
He showed himself. Shion.
Yeah! Well, he was feeling very unwell, but said he just had to tell us something.
And what was that?
I recently found out there's something called a distress signal transmitter somewhere in the school. It was put here in the event of all but one member of the Team 1 dying. Only Team 1, though, because the 2 teams joined together had not been anticipated. The people on the satellite did not think Team 2 would ever come here. At any rate, no matter how strong they were, A single fighter wouldn't be able to win this war on their own. It's said the survivor would be extracted and put on standby while the people in charge put together a fresh team for a new attempt. Once the correct series of codes had been entered into the transmitter, it would, well, transmit a distress signal. Once the artificial satellite received it, they'd send a rescue craft to the school. The survivor would get on board and be taken back to the satellite. That's supposed to be the sequence of events. Also, the rescue craft does not have a capacity restriction. That means people from both teams 1 and 2 can board with no issue. The second to last academy does not have a transmitter of its own, so bringing the team over here was definitely the right move. Unfortunately, I do not know where that transmitter is located. Still, it seemed to me like this information could be of some use to you. That is why I came here to tell you about it.
A distress signal transmitter? I've never seen or heard of such a thing before.
Same here.
After hearing that, we split up into groups to search for the transmitter, but... I'm about to choke on water.
We still haven't found it.
Doesn't matter. We'd have to put the transmitter on the back of a burner for now. Find the identity of X was our top priority. X was most likely the one to kill Shoma. Or they could have ordered somebody else to do it, like they did for Kako. At any rate, X was absolutely involved in Shoma's murder. As long as we could figure out who killed Shoma, we'd find out who X is. Alright. Clench my fist tightly. Here we go, Tsubasa. Come with me.
Oh.
What?
Where?
To the courtyard. I'm gonna reinvestigate the scene of Shoma's murder. Very well.
I don't mind, but...
What's that?
Can we have breakfast first? I'm starving.
Okay. Fair enough. And thus, here goes Tsubasa and I went to the courtyard together after having breakfast. Fair enough. Eat first. Just try and keep it down first. Why'd you ask us to come along? I can't go against my own last words now, can I?
How about moving to our groups during the day?
Oh. But why choose us? No reason in particular, I just felt like it.
Felt like it?
One of us could very well be X. Then it'll be a 2-on-1 fight.
If X tries to destroy evidence during the investigation.
I'm not worried. They would have already done that while I was unconscious if it was that important. Yes, that is true.
Then what are you investigating?
One question before I answer that. Nobody had an alibi for 4 AM on day 51, right? When Shoma was killed? Yes, we were all sleeping in our rooms. Well, Ava was in Ato's room, actually, but you know what I mean. What about the murder weapon? What about the murder weapon or any other clues?
So far we haven't found anything.
The main oddity right now is the fact that there was, for some reason, a balloon there and that Shoma's clothes are wet. Why? I'm wondering, no, could you hide something in a balloon? I don't know. In that case, the fastest way to identify X is to see who could have possibly killed Shoma under those circumstances. The killer likely used a special method to kill Shoma while he was locked in the cage. Figuring out what that method was could break this case wide open. The balloon has got to be the key here. Is there some way you can use the balloon? Who could have done that? Was thus the best line of investigation to pursue. How exactly are we going to do that?
This place is so big that I have no idea where to even start. We need some sort of clue first.
There is a clue. Shoma's body was wet when we first found it, remember? I think finding out why may very well be the key to solving this case. I walked over to the courtyard fountain. There was a valve with a handle on the side, probably for adjusting the amount of water being spouted. I opened it completely and then... Frightening amount of water gushed all at once, making the fountain look like it was an erupting geyser or open dam. A giant column of water shot up into the sky and came to aim it down again like a downpour of rain. I quickly turned the handle to close the valve. Soon, the water slowed considerably and went back to its normal flow. Whew, that was close. What exactly were you trying to do?
I'm glad I was staying over here. I'd be all wet now if I'd been any closer.
Next, I checked the central drain. It was more like a tunnel than a drain. The water flowed deep into that tunnel. There was a large handle here as well. I turned the handle and a wall came down from the top of the tunnel, completely sealing up the drain. After checking it, I returned the handle to its original position. I briefly saw Hiriko and Tsubasa staring at me in confusion as I proceeded to my next destination, the cage where Shoma had been held. We already checked every last inch of that cage. There are no hidden tunnels underneath, and the bars are as strong as can be.
No scratches on the lock either. There's no trace of anything that had been tampered with. The hinges on the gate are also untouched. As I was listening to him, my eyes wandered to the top of the cage. Officially, this cage is an animal pen. I think it was supposed to be modeled after a bird cage or something.
Huh?
You see that ring suspended from the top there? Yes, what about it? I didn't answer, instead lowering my glance to the bottom of the cage, where something caught my eye. The cage isn't secured to the floor. It's just a bottomless cage placed on top of a base.
But the cage is impossible to move manually. It literally weighs a ton.
How do you know that?
There was a blueprint of the courtyard on the war room's computer that had some information about it.
Let's see. So it weighs 1 ton.
Hey, that reminds me. Did you know this courier was originally created as a biotope for space development research?
Biotope?
I'll try to keep the explanation as brief as possible. It said that before world death, Earth was full of different kinds of terrain, like arid regions and rainforests. And each of these regions were inhabited by living things unique to that area, including plants, microorganisms, and vertebrates. For research purposes, this place had originally been created as a perfect replica of the ecosystems those creatures have been living in.
That suddenly makes a lot more sense why this area looks like that.
That's why there are blasts of hot air to simulate a desert environment. It can also withstand atmospheric pressures many times Earth's range.
But wouldn't that amount of pressure cause the windows to break?
Oh.
What are you talking about? Those things over there aren't windows. They're all display screens, including the ceiling. Look carefully and you'll see the light flickering every once in a while.
There's no way the sky could be visible from here. We are inside the school after all.
You might be right. But what about the exits on both sides? Both sides connect to the hallways. Atmospheric pressure can escape from those exits when it gets too high, right?
Oh.
Those places were closed in the beginning, covered by partition walls, don't you remember? Oh, right. They opened it up after Sierra released them.
In other words, as long as the walls on those exits and drains are down, the courtyard is in completely sealed space.
And completely sealed space. Are you done here? Shall we return to the gym? Not yet. There's just one more thing. This. Balloon.
Balloon?
Oh.
The one thing we found during our investigation on day 51. Why do you think it was found so close to the cage? Could it have something to do with pressure?
I have no idea.
I can hardly imagine it being someone's personal belonging. The more likely possibility is that someone made it using the Gift-O-Matic. Gift-O-Matic. We'll definitely be able to find a clue if we go there. Alright, who's used the Gift-O-Matic recently? Result in a few discoveries.
Oh.
So in summary, the official name of this is the Sturdy Rubber Balloon. It was made using a very durable material.
Oh.
The description on the box mentions it doesn't break easily. The balloon has a capacity of 10 liters. It should be quite big when blown up.
According to history logs, it's been crafted a total of 100 times. Who needs that many balloons and for what?
100 times? Unfortunately, we won't be able to find out who crafted them. That data, and only that data, has been erased. After reviewing our findings, I put the balloon back into my pocket. So someone's made a bunch of these balloons for some reason. Tsubasa, is there a tire pump in the parking lot?
Yeah, an electric air compressor.
Is it portable?
Of course it is. It has a caster wheels attached to it. Anybody can move it anywhere. But why do you ask?
Sorry, let me gather my thoughts first. I'll explain it all to everyone once I have a clearer picture of how the events unfolded. A clear picture?
And when will that happen?
Probably by 7 p.m. tonight. We returned to the gym together, where I immediately started sorting out my thoughts. The day flew by as I did, and soon it was night. The time I had asked everyone to meet me had arrived. Don't tell me we already figured out, because I don't know. What? It was exactly 7 p.m. when I quietly said to everyone, "Hey guys, can we all move to the courtyard? I have something important to discuss." Did we figure it out? Because I sure as shit haven't.
What is this important thing we had to come all this way here to discuss?
Well, you see, turn my gaze upward slowly on my head.
I figured out who killed Shoma.
I don't know. Oh dear, not this again. Stop shaking, everybody. Who did it? First, we must answer the how. How did the killer stab Shoma while he was locked inside a cage?
Once we can figure that out, the identity of the killer becomes apparent. Because only that person could have done all that under those circumstances.
Just cut to the chase and tell us who the killer is already.
All right. I'll tell you. The person. It was the name.
Stop saying it. Person who killed Shona. I don't know. Very durable material. Description on the box mentions it doesn't break easily. Balloon has a capacity of 10 liters. Should be quite big when blown up. Wait. I'm curious. I want to look something up. How much does... $10 liters, which is about like what? Wait. 100 times 20. That's 2,000. Is it possible they lift... I think maybe I can see what's going on here, maybe. If you use the balloons, couldn't you technically blow them up to a point where they could lift the cage? I looked it up. Apparently 10 liters is about roughly like, I think it said like 22 pounds or something like that. If you do that times 100, or 20 times 100 is 2,000. 2,000. Did I say that right? I don't know if I did. Cage is impossible to move manually. Literally weighs a ton. I don't know, to be honest with you. But I want to try and figure this out. What was the smoking gun that made... Anyone can move it. Anyone can move the electric air compressor. They knew Takumi wouldn't give the key up so easily. So they knew that they had to lift up the cage. So let's assume they knew they had to that they could lift up the cage. If they knew, then... Shoot. sealed space. I don't know. Probably not. Real killer is you, Tsubasa Kuwana. Very well, I'll explain. What you did was you know, so simple you were disgusting. I am.
He's X after all.
Oh boy, yep. Commit his next crime. Oh dear. Wait, so... Wait, what the... Oh, what? It just tells me here. What? You know what? I don't want to see the ending right here to this yet. I'm not in the mood to see an ending quite yet. It says Takumi and Ava are the other options. What happens if I select somebody who's not those choices? I summon Dead Ato. What is this default to? It was Ato. Him, Ato. He's long dead. Very well. No. Other. Okay, so it just... No. It's Ava or Takumi? Well, it's gotta be Ava, obviously. Again, I'm just not in the mood to get an ending right now. You know what? No, actually, you know what? I am in the mood. Whatever. But I'm doing it in the silliest way possible. Ado, you're the one behind it. Screw it. You did it, corpse. I knew I couldn't trust you. Ado!
What?
That was a dead body doing killing. Let me explain. What you did was you, Yes, yep.
No, he got technically he's unconscious.
Yep. Commit his next crime. So about the matter up in a futile attempt to shift suspicion. Yep, and everybody's... Found myself unable to offer anything. Yep. I got locked up for being wrong! And now all of you are dead. Was detained by the others and locked inside the cage in the courtyard. What possessed me to even say that, I couldn't remember. My consciousness fled from me. Up, day 100. Let me guess, the rest of them are dead? When I next opened my eyes, I saw the cage meant unlocked. So unsure what that meant, I pushed the door open nervously and stepped outside, only to notice that someone was lying in the cage next to mine. Ran over to see who it was. Ava. I didn't even need to check. She was clearly already gone. The cage was unlocked. I went inside and touched her arm. It was deathly cold. She'd been dead for at least a few hours.
What's going on here?
I stamped down my disquieting thoughts and quickly started searching for the others. Next destination was the library. As soon as I entered, I saw...
Kyoshika!
There's Kyoshika. Wasn't breathing and had no pulse. Judging from how cold she felt, it seemed like she had died a few hours ago as well. Proceeded to the roof. Checked every single door. Takamaru, Hiroko, Darumi, room's empty. Kurara's room was next. Lying there was... Kurara. Checked her body, cold.
No, wait.
I moved Kurara's body to the infirmary, but... Dead. Had a really bad feeling. Dark despondency pulled and congealed at the pit in my stomach. Y'all feel good about letting me, I checked the art rooms, checked the first floor, saw... There's Ugamu. I like that we've reused his, the picture of him being dead from the slasher route. Garage, and then... There's everybody else hung. Actually, not everyone. I finally registered the scene for me. I thought I could hear a sound of my heart breaking apart. Not even sadness or despair. All of them are dead. No more hearts. I peered underneath Hiriko's clothing, checked her back. Large empty cavity. Not capable of reasoning. Where's Izumi's corpse? Wandered around aimlessly for a while before coming to a stop. Then a passing soundless breeze blew past. A slight sense of suspicion flashed through the back of my mind. How many dead bodies have I found? Wait, don't tell me that. 3, 4, 9. I was put in the presence hall on day 75. How many survivors were there at that time? Including myself, there was 12, which meant that suspicion was quickly dispelled from mine when the remaining 2 survivors appeared before me.
We fought so hard in the defense of Bells. Everyone gave their all. We even beat Pashness. And yet, this is what we woke up to.
Takumi. You killed them all, right?
Yeah, sure.
We're the last 3 still alive. No one else but you could have done it.
Well, now I know who is very suspicious. Started to defend myself desperately.
It wasn't me. I went through the same ordeal too. My cage was unlocked when I woke up, and I walked out to almost everybody dead.
Well, now you 2 are the most suspicious.
You really think we'll believe you after what you've already done?
Who else could have done this, huh? Tell us.
Moko's right. 3 of us are the only ones still alive. Stood to reason that one of us had to be a killer.
Come on, we're waiting. Who killed everybody if not you?
It was...
Ah! Wait! Huh? What? This is an ending, bro. Okay, I'll take it. Please give me 3 options. Who killed everybody? Yeah! You know what? Screw it. We'll just get all 3 of these endings right now. Moko, it was you. You did this. You murdered everybody. Just send me into the stratosphere, please. You did this. Moko Mojiro! You killed everyone. It had to have been you. There's no mistake about it.
No, no, no.
No, 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 no.
What the? Brandishing a massive butcher knife. Slashed your neck. Watching her as Moko collapses to the ground. I killed her. I hadn't intended to, but it just happened. My knees were knocking against each other. My strength gave out and the butcher knife fell to the ground. Immediately after. Somebody screamed at the top of her lungs and dashed over. The knife that had fallen from my hand was lying at my feet. She quickly picked up and swung it wildly. Hey, thank you.
Nasomi, why?
Somebody was standing in front of me with an astonished look on her deathly pale face. I stared absently at her until my consciousness faded into nothingness. Why are you look surprised? You're the one who did this! Mystery Route 94. Revenge for Moko. Okay. Who done it? Is it actually gonna be Nozomi? I'm doing talking to next. I did it! I did everything! I'm the culprit.
I think...
I probably just didn't.
Probably just didn't remember it.
Thanks, genius. Because there's no way either one of you here could have done all that. It means you must be right. It was me. Must have killed everyone somehow without being conscious of it. My head hung weakly. Immediately after,
I knew it.
so I got a large butcher knife. Thanks, Moko. Next thing I knew, I was staring at my kneeled body, arms drooping lifelessly on both sides. How was I able to see my own body from this angle? That was the last thought that ran through my mind before I blacked out completely. Fascinating. So wait, are they both the killer? 96. Terminated Sumino. Well, at least we now know the name of this route, I just realized. It just now occurred to me. It was you, Nozomi! You did this! You murdered everybody! You did this. You! It's all your fault.
I'm sorry,
You!
Nozomi, but you're the only one who could have done this.
How should you even say such a thing? It wasn't me. It really wasn't. No, forget it. I don't care anymore. Everyone died like that. So
Suddenly screaming at the top of her lungs and ran out toward the wall of fire.
Nozomi!
Oh, she just jumped. Okay. Nozomi, she kept running at full speed right into the wall of fire. Oh, okay.
No!
Bye, Nozomi. This wasn't what I wanted. All because I made that accusation. That's me, Nozomi. Moko, just go ahead and slash. Makes me feel still be able to make it. I'll save Nozomi, drag her out of these flames, and my body was already moving before I could finish the thought. Launch myself into the fiery flames. Very next moment, as vaporized in an instant, my consciousness seized just as quickly as my body was reduced to ash. Incredible. A kind heart. What? Fuck off. A kind heart. Well done. Shut up. Well, that's one branch of it done. You know what? I'm too curious. I want to see what happens if I... It might be going a little overtime and I might be getting the... Whatever. It was me. I did it. The killer is me. Let's get all this silliness out of here. It was me. I did it. I murdered it.
Hey!
It was me. It was me.
It's not even synchro start.
Me too.
That feeling.
Well, after Nardiar started voicing their agreements, and I found myself unable to offer any rebuttal. Yep. I was just screwing around. There's the same by the eyes and locked inside the cage. I was supposed to even say that. Yippee! Day 99. Had no idea how long I was unconscious. When I next opened my eyes, I saw the cage had been unlocked. I'm sure of what that meant. I pushed the door open nervously and stepped outside. There's eerily silent around, no signs of life anywhere. Wondering where everyone had gone, decided to walk around. Everybody's dead.
Darumi.
Hey, yo, Darumi. Didn't even need to check. She was clearly already gone. Touched her arm, scaly and dry. Been quite a while. Checked her back. Large gaping hole. Heart been removed.
Why would someone do this?
But disturbing thought aside, quickly continued. Library. Found Kyoshika again. Died a while ago. Flip body. No heart. First floor, second floor, third floor. Nobody. Third destination, gym.
What?
Everybody's dead.
Happened here?
Except Nozomi and Shoma, I think.
No, wait.
I moved to infirmary, but... It's Kurata again. All of them had their hearts out. No longer capable of reasoning. Where's Shoma? Oh, there's Shoma. Where were my own heart had gone? I feel like time had stopped. Nozomi! Wander around the academy with no purpose until I finally stumbled upon the 10th dead body. Oh, hey, Takemaru. Hey, Ava. 10th, 11th. Ava's bag is untouched. Nozomi. 11? How many survivors? Great amount of blood suddenly starts spurting from my neck. I understood for the first time in that moment that I was still alive. At the same time, I realized I would be dead in 2 seconds. I had no way of telling if that prediction of mine came true or not, because by then my existence had already been erased from the world. Fantastic! So Nozomi's probably X then. Lost in Darkness, 93. We have 80 endings. Holy crap. We've been with this game for so long, and we now have 80 freaking endings. Oof. Welp. Guess we're going to end it here for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you all later. Peace.